I'm interviewing William Ingold from Sycamore High School in Cincinnati. And a nice surprise is that he's already committed to the Naval Academy. He's excited about it. And it's one of the first guys I've talked to that's done it, so I'm excited. Good evening. How are you doing? What?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Tell us about the Naval Academy a little bit.
Man, the opportunities, they're excellent institution academically. The opportunities that they give you post college are tremendous, and I think that's the biggest reason that I decided to commit so soon is the opportunities that I knew that I was guaranteed to have post college, and just the camaraderie that the community has in Annapolis is just tremendous. And I think it's just an overall amazing institution.
Good, good. I know it's early, but do you have any idea what you have 5 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Commitment, and then do you know what you'll do after that, or an idea?
I want to be a physical therapist.
Okay, and then you'll train. Will you be able to get that training at the Naval Academy?
Yes, sir.
That's good. That's super. That's super. Tell me about football. How does it feel to be a running back?
It has its pros and cons. I was a quarterback all the way from second grade to beginning of sophomore year. So it was I was used to running the team, but then when I switched to running back, it was different. I got hit every play. Was used to that.
That's good.
But overall, it's amazing. I love it. Just being able to make plays when I get the balls in my hand and receiving and all the different attributes that running back can have is awesome.
What do you think you have to work on as a running back to get better this year? What are some things you'd have to work on?
I would say pass protection. I think that's the biggest thing I need to work on, being more physical with those big guys up front.
How do you get better at that?
I would just say no the blitz or whatever they may be coming with, and then just come with everything I have and just be physical with them.
Okay, that's good. That's a good. I think that's pretty good. Running back, 5'10". You're pretty low to the ground. How much do you weigh now?
I'm 200 pounds on the money.
On the money, 200 pounds. That's good. You're running track, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's going to keep your weight down a little bit and help improve your speed. And you're running the 400 you told me earlier. That's good. Are you going to run the 4x4 then as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the 4x4, what leg do you think you'll run?
Either second or anchor.
Okay. You hope you're running second, right? No, I'm just joking with you. You got those big anchor guys, those 6'4" guys and stuff. That sounds really good, though. How's school going overall? Well, how do you do in the classroom?
I think I do a good job. I think I could definitely do better, but right now I think I'm doing well.
Good. And you have to keep going on that too, I'm sure.
Yes,
what's your favorite subject?
I
What would
say?
Okay, let me give you. What's your favorite academic subject? You hear me?
I would say either English or history. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite subject to have fun with and enjoy?
Team sports, gym class.
Okay. Oh my, team sports. I thought you mentioned ceramics to me at one time or doing something like that. I may have not heard you correctly. Well, that sounds good. What, as you look back, who have been people that have influenced you, kind of kept you in as track would go, keep you in lane 4? The main lane and keep you there, important lane. Who's done that for you?
I would say my parents. I think they've done a tremendous job of supporting me on and off the field and just keeping me on track, not letting me get too arrogant or anything like that, and have allowed me to grow and just have taken care of everything off the field and behind the scenes, and it just allowed me to focus on football and school and just
That's
doing the best
good.
I can.
That's good. Now, a little humor here. Who's tougher, mom or dad?
Ooh, they both have
You
their.
got to plead the
I,
Fifth Amendment, right? You're
I
not
would
going
say
to
my
say on
dad.
that one. What?
Yeah, my dad when it comes to sports, my mom when it comes to. Actually, no, they both are tough. I would
We
say
better
they're both tough.
stop right there on that one, right? I won't go any farther. Tell me, what are words you live by? Do you think about? What makes you a good guy? What makes you go?
I would say compete. I love
Okay.
competing. I'm a huge competitor. I do not like losing whatsoever, and I'll do everything I can to win. And I just don't like finishing second. I always want to be first. I always want to be that top guy. So I think that's the biggest thing that pushes me is competing.
Okay. Any athlete, any pro or college athlete that you kind of like or kind of want to not emulate, but kind of be like, or you enjoy watching play?
I would
Anybody?
say I would say Alvin Kamara and Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. He's a great athlete, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He is
He
fun to
gets,
watch.
man, he gets beat up sometimes, but he comes back. That's amazing, I think, for him. Okay, all that together, what would you tell? Because you probably have young people that say, "Man, I want to be like William. Boy, look at him run and cheer." What would you tell young guys, freshmen, eighth graders, younger guys? What would you tell them about playing football? What
I
would you?
would say that it takes a lot of commitment. You got to be invested. If you do not love it, you most likely won't succeed in it. And I would just say trust the players around you, trust the coaches and everything they have for you. They will put you in the best position to succeed. And then just really rely on your teammates when it gets tough, because they're going through the same thing and it'll help you push through.
And you're just a play away as a sophomore from playing. Maybe you get an injury or something like that. You got to be ready to go. Okay, what would you tell those same eighth graders or freshmen about being a person? What advice would you give about character?
I would say I would say be your own individual person. Do not allow people to influence you in a negative way. Um, and I would just say carry yourself with integrity. Um, don't do anything that you want people to see. Do the right thing when nobody's watching, and then just be a leader. Despite what people may say about you, maybe they may make fun of you for being a leader, but I would just say carry yourself as high as possible and lead others in the right direction.
Good. What annoys you? Not necessarily, just annoys you. What's something that can get under your skin a little bit or annoys you? Nothing where you're going to fight or mad. Just what annoys you.
I would say people being lethargic. Especially in the weight room, I hate when people skip sets or walk in late or just don't bring that energy. It makes me super frustrated. Or after a loss and they just don't like they care, that makes me super frustrated.
That's good. And those same people, when it's fourth down and one, they may not get that first down. You know that? People are lethargic. They might not get that first down. Well, they'll get it when, excuse me, it's fourth down and you're leading by 30 points. They may get it, but they may not get it when it's 0-7 and you need it. I've always thought that. But end of sermon there. That's just something I think about. First silly question. I have three of them. The first one is, what do you do when nobody's watching? Nobody
I
around. What do you
draw.
do?
I love to sketch on my own. I love to play video games. I think that's my quiet time, and I also do like to watch film. I think that's something that I pride myself on doing.
Well, that's
Um,
really good.
yeah,
Good. As a football player, as a running back, maybe we've already talked about, what do you think are your strengths as a running back?
I would
What
say
do
it's
you,
my foot. my football IQ, knowing what the defense is doing before I get the ball, being
Good.
able to see the coverage and know where each guy's going, and just be able to know where the holes may form, where my line's blocking and how they're blocking, whether that's zone or just straight up. I think that football IQ definitely helps me.
Good. What about physically? Besides IQ? What else do you think is a strength?
I would say my strength and my physicality. I think I have really good build for a running back, and also I bring some physicality behind me.
That's good. That's good. Okay, second silly question. Trade places with somebody for one day. What would it be? You get to trade places for one day. Who would it be?
Lamar Jackson, that's my guy. Just being able
Lamar
to play
Jackson.
athleticism for one day and playing in that offense, I think would be super cool to do.
Yeah. Did he get hurt last year? I don't. He got hurt for a little bit, I think, didn't he? Or 2 years ago?
Against the Bills, he had a concussion.
That's okay. That's good. Okay. We talked about school. We talked about words you live by, influence, a noise. Are there any time, is there a time that you look back in your 3 years and say, man, I'll never forget that? Is there a time that you've done that sticks out in your mind?
I would say the Princeton game my sophomore year. They had three huge Division I recruits: Paris Johnson at Ohio State, Darian Henry at Ohio State, and then Jaheim Thomas at UC. And a lot of people were betting Princeton over us that week. And then me being able to score with the last 2 minutes of the game off that muff punt and running back to the sideline, I think was a tremendous experience. And then my former teammate, Jack, hitting the game-winning field goal, I think was awesome. And just running off that was just tremendous.
Well, that's really super. Okay. Talent that you wished you had that you don't have, that you probably never really have. What would that be?
I would say singing.
Singing, and we talked about it earlier. What kind of music?
I'm all over the place. I listen to any music. I love some old time. I listen to some Michael Jackson actually. And then I love hip hop. I love R&B. Any music I like.
Okay, who's Drake?
He's a rapper. He's a hip hop rapper.
See, I'm cool, man. No,
Yes.
a guy had one of these interviews. He told me that he'd like to be Drake, and I said, change places with Drake for one day, and I had no idea. So I'm cool. I get on to Google it after the interview, and Google it and find out who Drake was. And yeah, he's a rapper, isn't it? I mean, yeah, he's a rapper, isn't he? Okay. Okay, just a couple more questions, and I won't keep you here. Talk about recruiting just for a little bit. Okay, what was the hardest part about recruiting?
I would say not getting discouraged when I saw other guys my age getting offers, because I felt like I may have been better than them or just as good as them, and just not getting discouraged and being able to trust the process was, I think, hard, but definitely fulfilling when I was able to trust the process.
The problem with these offers is and I did it on Twitter. I wrote it on Twitter today. There's so many bogus. There's so many. We'll give you an offer if. We'll give you. This is an offer if you come to camp. This is an offer if you get good grades. This is an offer if And sometimes offers, they're all different kinds, and that messes guys up because they see everybody else getting them, and that gets them discouraged. Okay, in the recruiting that you had, what would you tell a sophomore that's starting to get recruited right now? What would you tell him? He says, wait, give me some advice. What would you tell him?
In the classroom and trust your coaches and trust that they are putting you in the best position to succeed.
Good.
And then just work on your craft, work on the things that you can't control, and just try to be the best player you can be.
That's really good. I totally agree. And control what you can control, right? Control what you can control. You know, you can't control some things. Okay. Last question. Let me make sure I've covered everything because you've done such a good job. I guess it would be my last question would be, William, you seem like such a class act. Okay. Why would I want to recruit you for my program?
I would say I would carry myself with high integrity. I'm a very, this is going to sound contradicting, but I'm a very humble person. I'm not the one to put what I've accomplished out there. I let my actions speak louder than my words. I will call myself a leader. I love to lead. I love to mostly lead by example. I will definitely get on you with my words, but mostly I'll do it first. And I would just say I'm a really hard worker. And I just love to work, and I just think it's really
What
fulfilling.
about as a person?
I would say that I would live with integrity. Um,
Okay,
I'm very passionate with other people. I'm a very big people person.
good.
Um, yes, sir.
I've enjoyed the interview. And stay with me, okay?
Thank you for
Thanks.
having me.
Here's, say that again.
I said thank you for having me.